My name's Cece Bourgeois, and I'm from Wonder Dog University. And today I want to talk about board and train. Honestly, I've been a little nervous about doing this, speaking a bit plainly about something that might be a little bit of a hot topic, but it's necessary. Boot camp, doggy training boot camp, sending your dog off to a place, usually a facility where dogs are kenneled and trained anywhere from a week to several weeks, come home to their owner, a trained dog, perfectly well behaved. I've not seen a place who uses modern training techniques. My hope is this will change, and I think it will in the near future. But for now, this is not me slamming the facilities who do this type of training. I'm certain there are places that do this in a responsible, quality way. The scenario is not really set up for proper learning. Your dog really in a day-to-day environment of training only needs about a 15-20 minute session per day, maybe several times a day, but with long breaks between, not the intensive training that can be done at locations like this. If they're training like that, that's great. However, the knowledge transfer needs to happen to the person, the owner, the dog person, their primary person. And that can be tricky because the dog comes home, there might be a little handoff session when you pick up your dog even, but there's not consistent training of the person with the dog. For instance, I prefer for all dogs because they get to remain in their home. It's called day training in the industry. We call it train your dog for you. We only take certain cases for this because we want it to be conducive to the scenario that the client's looking for their behavior training, modification, whatever it may be. And within those parameters, we visit with the person regularly and also the dog. We train the dog one-on-one, but we also have the person there for several sessions, making sure that they're comfortable with what we've taught the dog and how to do follow-up at home and their interactions with the dog every day. We also send written and video tutorials to our clients during the entire process so they can follow along. One of the other things that makes us concerned is a lot of clients will come to Wonder Dog University after having engaged someone for boot camp, board and train, and in private sessions as well, where the methods that were used were old-fashioned, as I like to say, and to be blunt, aversive, meaning choke collars, prong collars, slip collars, even leash pops where you jerk the leash, even more of a firm voice. None of this is necessary with modern training. I teach our Reform School class, formerly known as our Growl class. Been doing that for years. We have enormous success with aggressive behaving dogs, and never once have we ever, or would we, need to or want to use any of those methods. And what's great, and you can have confidence in right now, is that those methods that we use, modern training methods, are all backed up by science. A recent position statement by one of the leading groups in animal behavior cited, I believe, 22, I'm sorry if I'm wrong about that, different studies that back that up. So it's been put out in the dog training industry now that, guess what? There's no leg to stand on for old-fashioned training anymore. Definite, confirmed. Many times when clients come to us, the dog has not been trained to what they needed, which is unfortunate, but there's also some behavioral fallout and damage that's been done from the old-fashioned training techniques that were used. And that is heartbreaking for us and frustrating because dog people a lot of times don't know any different. So it's hard for them to question or know that there's another method unless someone's showing them and telling them, which is why I'm doing this video. So when a professional dog trainer says this is what we need to do, that person's in an authoritative position, and the person's going to follow it because they think that's the right thing to do. And unfortunately, they often come to us or other modern trainers for help afterwards. Another reason is guarantees. If a trainer offers a guarantee on their training, run quickly. Your dog is not a computer. And as one of my trainers likes to say, your dog is not a refrigerator. They can't be fixed with a new part or a reboot. That's not how behavior works. That's not how training works. You can't guarantee a behavior is going to always be 100% reliant. That's a big red flag. Places that guarantee or even want to take your dog in and train them without your watchful eyes there, look at their social media posts. On social media, that's where you find a lot of stuff that doesn't show up on their websites or an interview. One of the telltale signs is if there are two collars on the dog, that's a red flag. One collar, great, that's the dog's ID, tracking device maybe. Second collar, why would a dog need a second collar? Dog doesn't need a second collar. A second collar usually has a little box on it that is a shock device or a vibration device, as the trainer may tell you. There will be usually a piece hanging down the extension of the collar because that collar is not fitted to that dog because that collar comes off and is used on different dogs, so it needs to be left the full length so they can fit it to the neck of whatever dog they're working with. So look for short-haired dogs on their social media and see if you see any of that. You might see the trainer reaching into their pocket. If the trainer doesn't come out of their pocket with some yummy treats for that dog, that's probably the device in the trainer's pocket. Then that's what's going on. I'm trying to protect you people, so please protect your dogs. It's not that these trainers mean any harm. It's not that they're trying to do wrong. They simply think that this is the way to train, and someone else taught them that this is how to train. Perhaps they don't stay up on continuing education and read research papers and studies. That's part of what a professional trainer should be doing. And if you read those studies and you read the position papers that are most recent, you'll see there's another way. Those are some things to watch for. You could also watch the dog's body language. If in some of the social media videos the dog's ears are pinned back, the dog's mouth gets tight when they're near the trainer, their tail tucks, their body becomes slightly curved or tight, that's another sign that something's not happy with that dog, and the dog should be happy when training, because training should be fun. I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I could point out to you, but those will give you some points to look at and go in the right direction. I really want to get a longer video of a group discussion going on with our trainers about this, because there's so much more for us to share on these topics. So I hope you stay tuned in and we can help guide you in helping your dog be a happy dog. Thanks.
Who's a good boy?